So this is my presentation. I'm going to start with talking about research methods. So quantitative research refers to research which collects numerical and factual data. It's used to collect and analyze objective data which can then be used for drawing conclusions. Advantages of this is objective data isn't open to interpretation and is scientific and reliable. A disadvantage is that it can't provide explanations or additional reasonings. So sometimes if there's an anomaly, there won't be a reasoning and that won't give an understanding. It's also harder to obtain. And an example of where quantitative data could be used is collecting Cooper run distances. This data would be quantitative as it's given in the form of numerical numbers. Another type of research method that we use is qualitative. This refers to research which collects and analyzes non-numerical data. So this research method creates subjective data which is open to interpretation. This data is good in research because it gives reasonings, and this sort of research is usually provided in words or written sentence. Advantages, like I said, it's open to interpretation and it gives reasonings, so any anomalous findings you can see reasons for. And a disadvantage, if we're open to interpretation again, that can be a disadvantage because if it's not objective, sometimes interpretation can differ from one another and multiple people can think contrasting points. And then it's, like I said, not objective, factual or stats. An example of where this could be used in my research is collecting personal opinions on how the participants feel before, during or after their run. So just asking them how they feel, and that would be given in words instead of numbers. And yeah, like I said, it's given in the form of words, so it's qualitative. Another research method we use is mixed methods. This refers to research which collects both numerical and non-numerical data, so qualitative and quantitative. This research method is used for collecting both objective data and subjective data. It's useful for providing factual data, and it then provides with reasonings for the findings. Advantages are, like I said, objective and subjective reasonings, and it's open to interpretation. The last can be seen as a disadvantage as well, but because there's reasonings, in this case it is more of an advantage. And the disadvantage is that it's harder to obtain because you have to do more research. An example of where this could be used is participants saying how they feel before, during or after the run, but using a rating scale instead of words. So how did you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? And then that data would be in numbers. The data is being provided by the participants and the feelings are subjective, which is qualitative, and the rating scale will be quantitative. Research skills. My research used a quasi-experimental design in where we observed and recorded data on a naturally occurring event with manipulation of the independent variable, in this case being the energy drink. We use a self-selected sampling technique in which people volunteered to participate, and then we chose a participant from the group. We made the athletes run the same route under the same conditions, once with and once without an energy drink. We use Strava to collect our data. Strava is what provides us with numerical, quantitative, our objective data. We then collected qualitative data through asking the athletes questions and personal opinions on their runs. This is mixed methods research. Using this allowed us to collect valid data with explanations and reasonings for any findings and results. We also used a questionnaire. So prior to carrying out my study, I asked members of my sport and exercise science class to carry out a quick questionnaire on sports drinks and how they feel towards them in sport. The results showed that most people rarely consumed energy drinks. People's most favourite energy drink on average was Lucozade, with 75% saying that Lucozade was their favourite. Because of this result, I decided to use Lucozade Sport for my study, as it was clearly people's favourite. Most people thought that consuming an energy drink improved sporting performance, and on average, people believed an energy drink to have a 75% increase in sporting performance. So the first run, this was the run on water. The distance of this first one was 4.91 kilometers, and the participant ran this distance in 27 minutes and 31 seconds. with an average pace of 5 minutes 36 per kilometre. For this run, the participant drank only water. This run is quite a fast pace, as the participant has had a history of running and runs often, and this was an average typical pace for her, but an above average pace for someone of her age and gender. For the second run, with the energy drink, the distance was 4.87 kilometres, so slightly shorter, but not short enough to make a significant difference. The participant ran this distance in 26 minutes and 43 seconds, maintaining an average pace of 5 minutes 29 per kilometre, which is quicker. This run was performed on Lucozade only, and was faster paced than her original run. And this was generally a quicker pace for her than usual, and a quicker pace for someone of her age and gender. Here are the results in a table. If you look at them next to each other, you can see that almost a minute difference in only 0.04 kilometres between them. If we look at the average pace, 7 seconds taken off per kilometre. This shows a clear difference that the energy drink has given. Obviously, an energy drink is not going to create a significant, massive difference, but this can show that it helps. So even though they ran a shorter distance on the second run, the difference in distance was not significant enough to have affected her pace or energy level, which shows that the energy drink did have an effect.